Hey, so I was on YouTube one day and I came across this really cool YouTube video, and I'll tell you who the YouTube creator is here in a little bit. He actually put together this amazing mobile workstation using a ordinary height adjustable workbench, and so I thought that's really cool. I need that for my studio. So I actually built one, but I went a little extreme with it, went a little overkill because I was really trying to suit a lot of the needs that I have. I've been doing video and live streaming for quite a while, and so I put this workstation together because I was inspired by this YouTube creator that used a lot of the same techniques in terms of how he shoots his videos, but he put it all onto one of these, a Husky workbench. You can actually pick these up at Home Depot, super affordable, less than $200, and it is height adjustable, so you can just crank this down, change the height of it. Makes it great for me. I'm 6'7", so it's nice to have things up high enough. It's at 41.5 inches is the highest that it goes, but what's really cool about it, it's got this really nice butcher block top to it, which is sturdy enough for me to mount all of this gear to. So I wanted to show you this because I'm actually going to be tearing this all apart here in a little bit, and I'm going to move it to a bigger one. But I want to show you this in here a little bit closer before I do. So this whole setup here is mobile. Like, I can move this whole thing around, and the only two things on this that are not connected is this Aperture 120D light right here and this main camera that I have right here. I'm going to take apart this entire desk, and then I want to show you guys how I assembled this effectively, because we're going to be putting it on this 72-inch workstation over here, which will give me a ton more room to spread out some of this and not make it so congested in one place.
So while I'm wrapping up installing these last few components on this mobile workstation, I just want to give some credit to Caleb Pike of the YouTube channel DSLR Video Shooter. He's the one that kind of inspired me to build my original mobile workstation ultimate video studio setup that I then went on to build this one off of. So thank you, Caleb, for the ideas, and I like your style. That took entirely way too long. I've literally been wiring this thing for about a week now, and I'm really excited to show you, but here's the old desk. Here's the 52-inch, super solid. I love these things. I've actually got a lot of them around here, and I use them for various purposes, so good job, Husky. You built a good product. Very versatile, and I put it to good use, so what do you say we check out the finished product? Bam. Here it is. Here is the new 72-inch studio command center, whatever we're gonna call it. In fact, let me know in the comments what you guys think I should call this thing. I've really thought through a lot here. Those of you with a keen eye, you'll notice that I actually switched up some things from my original setup, but I didn't record the week's worth of wiring and rewiring and unwiring and rewiring because I didn't want to bore you guys to death. But I do want to talk a little bit about how I wired it, why I wired it up the way that I wired it, and I'm really happy how it's turned out. I've actually recorded a video on it so far, and I've also done a live stream on it as well, using the switching, using the camera angles, using all the features that I built into it. So starting with the main thing, the whole idea for this was to really have it completely mobile. I can move this thing anywhere in the studio that I want to move it to. If I want to push this out and give myself more room in here with my backdrop, of course the backdrop is 100% on casters. It's completely mobile. I can rotate it around. I've got another backdrop fully built on the other side. I want to build one more of these. I'm gonna do a video on this as well. If you guys want to see that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I'm gonna do a video on how I built that entire wall the way that I did with electrical and everything dialed in there. So everything that I have here is plugged into the wall over there with a single power cable and a Cat6 Ethernet cable. Everything else is connected to this mobile work stand, including the secondary camera angle over here, the Vive Smartboard, and I've got a lot of gear in here. Of course, links to everything will be in the description below. I appreciate you guys. That does help support my efforts and the channel as well when you use those links. So those links will all be in the description so I can show you exactly what I have here in this setup. A lot of this stuff I already had. Now I did purchase some new stuff as I was putting this together, and one of my biggest focuses here was being feature rich, but really clean and minimalistic in some sense. Now, some of you are gonna comment, and that's fine. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. You're gonna say, what do you mean minimalistic, Michael? There's nothing minimalistic about this. Well, believe it or not, I actually removed some things out of here to kind of reduce the overall complexity of everything, because there was some redundancy in some of the audio processing that I realized that I didn't need it all. I just didn't need it all. So let's start walking through this. I think this is enough conversation. So actually, let's start here on the back, because there's a lot going on the back side here as well. And I want you guys to kind of understand some of the features here. So this right here, this of course is completely, oops, I got them locked in. That's a good thing about the locking casters. When you get the camera exactly where you want it, just lock it in. Love these C-stands. So this can be completely pulled back, moved around. This is a C-Tech 4K monitor that is mounted on this C-stand here, and I've got a Sony a7 III camera up there with a 70 to 200 millimeter lens, I believe. a power adapter, of course, to it, so I don't have to worry about batteries or anything like that. This monitor is really cool. I'm using it as a teleprompter monitor right now. It allows me to flip it around, which is one of the keys. You gotta have this. I've got the teleprompter glass up here, and then I've got an in and an out on the HDMI. So I've got the feed coming into the monitor, and then I've also got a feed going out, going over to the secondary monitor over there. I've got power right here, which is of course coming off of here. So everything is connected to this mobile stand right here. Then I've got this pile, massive outlet, multi-outlet, surge protector, USB connections. This is all my power for the unit. And then I've got a nice pass-through brush here, which just keeps all of my cables nice and organized and clean, and allows me to pass all of my cables, HDMI cables, the Ethernet cables, all of that in there. I've got a variety of mounts on here, including this Humanscale 3-monitor arm. I love this thing, super easy to grab this handle and just move it around to where I want it on the desk. It predominantly is gonna stay in this location because that's ideal. Then I've got some Elgato stands here as well, some additional arms with the Elgato key light there as well. That's a new addition to the setup. But just on the back here, one of the things that I made the mistake on the first time is I mounted a lot of these racks on the backside because I wanted to have a bunch of equipment on the backside here. The problem with that is that you eliminate all your space to be able to clamp things on to the desk itself. So I decided to reduce the amount of rack mounted gear that I had on the backside here, which really opened up the number of things that I could clamp on the back here, because that's really important to place these where I need them to be placed. Aperture 120D with the Mini 2 dome on here. This is my fill light. And coming around to the main front area, this is I call it the command center. The 3 monitors here are very specific in purpose. This is my main Mac Mini M1 monitor feed right here. This is of course where I can control my ATEM software and do anything else on the computer I want to. This monitor is specifically for screen sharing, so I have this wired in a certain way so that when I go to the screen share input on the feed, it only shows, so what's up here is what's going live or being recorded. It only shows what is on this one monitor right here. So I know that anything on this monitor is going to be shown to my audience. And I like that because yes, you can do it in software, but having a dedicated monitor for it means that I don't have to worry about a messy desk, desktop, or showing the wrong thing. I just share this one screen and I know exactly what's going out live to my audience. And then this monitor here on the left is the multi-view connected to the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. So this allows me to show the program or switch back over to the multi-view. And I've got all my inputs laid out here, and I can see my super source and my media players and all that right there. So this is kind of dedicated to my multi-view. And then above this right here is the feed coming out of the BlackMagic Hyperdeck Studio Mini, which is a new addition, which I'll talk about here in just a little bit. But this gives me a view of what's going, actually it's HDMI out from that BlackMagic Hyperdeck Studio Mini. So these 3 monitors are really specific in what they do. And then the teleprompter screen, the CTEK monitor up here, this is my main audience view. This is when I'm talking to my audience. So up there, I'm either gonna have, I'll push the main view there, and that's just gonna be my main direct camera feed. And then I have the vibe board behind me with a secondary camera feed. I've got the camera B here, which is another just slightly angled view, just to switch it up, give a little variety in my video recording. But it all goes through this one camera feed or monitor feed right here. So I'm always looking at the right place. I'm always looking at my audience. So I'm never looking down here and the camera's up here. So that's why I love using this teleprompter setup. And then I do have an overhead camera, which is the Sony ZV-1 up there. One of the reasons I love having that as my overhead camera and it is because of the remote. The remote is really cool because that allows me to very quickly zoom in and out. And if we come over here in the program view, you can see right here that I can quickly zoom in and out. And now I've got a very, very sharp view of whatever I want to show, unboxing any tech gear. It's nice to have that overhead. Moving on from the monitors themselves, and these are all on that Humanscale 3-arm. It's a specific model number. It handles a good amount of weight, which is what I like. Has a nice grip handle here so I can move it around to wherever I want to move this. Above that also here, so you've been seeing the Stream Deck. This is the regular Stream Deck, not the mini or the large. I have this mounted to just another arm right here. And I did this because I'm talking right here to the audience, I'm recording my video, and I hated, you know, looking down to switch stuff all the time. So I just put it up here on this arm. And this is a multi-arm mount right here. This thing is really versatile. I've got a link to this down in the description as well. This is really, really cool because there's just so many different things. I've got my Aperture 120D on here. I've got my Stream Deck. I've got a wireless charger. This is a MagSafe wireless charger right here that I can mount my iPhone to it so I can monitor Facebook comments and such. I'm using a Manfrotto strong arm back here for my overhead camera, which is clamped to this multi-arm as well. So I've got a lot riding on this one mount, but it is solid, it is strong, it is secure, and it stays very, very secure. Now, obviously, if I were to bump the whole desk, there is some movement in some of these things, but overall, it's extremely sturdy. I then also have the Sennheiser MT416 shotgun microphone up here. So this allows me to, you know, bring it close into talent or push it away. This is a great shotgun microphone if I just want to be completely hands-free. I can either run the shotgun microphone, I can run the lapel mic, or I can then bring over the Shure SM7B, which I love this microphone. I've got a couple of these. Great microphone, more podcast style, definitely industry standard with the Shure SM7B. And this arm here, not super inexpensive, but it's great because it goes where you tell it to go and it stays there. And that's one of my biggest gripes. I'm constantly adjusting and readjusting and tightening and untightening and moving. And this, I set it once and it just goes where I want it to go. I've tested out a lot of arms and this thing is amazing. It's the Konig. It's made by a company called Konig. Definitely the arm to get, especially for the SM7B microphone. All right, so there's the microphones that I've got running on this. Here's the other B camera. This is a Sony A5100, less expensive camera, but it works great for a B-roll secondary camera angle right here. It's at a nice angle right there, and I can quickly switch to that, of course, from the Stream Deck. I've got that all programmed in, of course, using BitFocus companion app, tied in with the Stream Deck, and got that all programmed in with macros. Still working on resetting up a lot of stuff now that I have the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, because I've got a lot more options now. I've got my super source, I've got 2 media players, I've got a lot more options, media player with keyframing, so there's a lot more options. So I'm reprogramming all of my companion app stuff to go into my Stream Deck. So not totally dialed in yet, but it's getting there. All right, then the Rodecaster Pro is my main audio mixer. So right now I've just got the 2 audio inputs. If I'm running my lapel, I'll have a third in there. But this handles a lot of audio needs from my expander and the gate and the de-esser and a lot of the audio compressor stuff that I was previously using the DBX 286 audio processors. And I actually opted to sell those. So I did have them down over here before. You would have seen those in the teardown video. I had those mounted right up underneath here, but they are gone. I liked them. It was great having the hardware audio processing and really dialing those in, but it was really overkill for this setup, and this is where I decided to go a little bit more minimalistic, and I swapped it out for this BlackMagic Hyperdeck Studio Mini, which I'll get into that in a second, why I chose to add this to my setup, but I got rid of the 286. I love them still, they're great audio processors, but the fact that the Rode can do most of that audio processing inside the Rodecaster Pro meant, why do I need the DBX 286s? The ATEM Mini Extreme inside the software control right here I can actually go into the software control right here and I can do all the same stuff. It's got the compressor, it's got the gate, it's got the expander. So I can go in here and really dial in these microphone inputs. So I just decided that having the physical hardware compressor, while some of the purists out there are gonna probably make comments, I just felt it was unnecessary on this setup. It was just getting a little bit too much. All right, so a few more things here. On this, we've got the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO right here. As you probably saw in the back with the inputs, I have completely maxed out the inputs already, making me wonder if I shouldn't have kept one of my ATEM Minis to use as additional inputs, but I just told myself, no, Michael, you've got enough camera feeds, you got enough inputs, you're good. But I've completely maxed this out. Every single port on the back is taken up, both microphone inputs, the monitoring port, 8 camera inputs, 2 HDMI out ports, the 2 USB-C ports, one going to my computer for live streaming, the other one going to the Samsung T7 1 terabyte SSD for recording the main feed and the 8 ISO individual clips, all going to this 1 terabyte SSD. It does a great job handling. There were some online comments and review that it didn't work with the ATEM Minis, but I think they've really dialed that in and they've made it work extremely well now. So I'm super happy how that's performing with recording my video. So just getting used to the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. I had the dual ATEM Mini, the ATEM Mini Pro and the regular ATEM Mini kind of piggybacking off of each other before, which worked pretty well, but it's just nice to have everything here and the additional controls that we get to have now with the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. All right, moving on over here, we've got a couple more things. One thing that I wanted to have was options of what I put up to my teleprompter, because sometimes I'm doing a Zoom, sometimes I'm doing a Facebook Live, sometimes I'm recording a YouTube video. And so I'm using this 3x1 HDMI switch, which allows me to quickly select what feed is going up to my teleprompter. So the number 1 input is going to be the program out view. It's actually gonna be the exact same thing that's over here on this screen. So if I go to multi-view, I'll have the multi-view up here, which sometimes I do use. It's nice to see everything, my other camera inputs, as I'm switching. Then the number 2 is going to be a third monitor for my Mac Mini. So the third monitor up there, and I use that for Zooms, I use that for StreamYard, I use that for Facebook Lives, and it's nice to put that up there. So I just throw up whatever window I'm streaming with. Halfstock Club is another one that I'm streaming to now, and I just move that screen up there and I can see my live feed, I can see all the comments, and I can just see it all there in my feed. So if I were to switch to that one right now, it's gonna be a third monitor and I can just drag up whatever I have down here. I can just drag right up and it's up there. Now I'm looking at my audience and seeing what I wanna see in that monitor. And then the third input, when I put that, what's interesting about this is it actually takes the HDMI out feed from the BlackMagic Hyperdeck Studio Mini. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to also be able to see the individual camera feeds, basically the clean feed that's going to the BlackMagic. So it's the same thing that's on there is what's showing up here. And so whatever input I switch it to up here, that is what is going to be showing up here. So it allows me to maintain my multi-view over here, but I've also got the main program view up here so that I can look at myself. So maybe I'm recording a YouTube video or one of my trainings for my Affiliate Marketing Pros membership site. I can record directly to here, but still maintain my multi-view. I didn't want to give up my multi-view, and the BlackMagic allows me to do that. Now I could have done that with a splitter, but what I like about it is it also allows me to see exactly what the BlackMagic Hyperdeck Studio Mini is recording while I'm recording it, which is pretty cool. Now you might be saying, why, in addition to that, why did you go with the BlackMagic Hyperdeck? Well, there's a few reasons for that. One is I wanted to have a redundant recording setup. So while I'm recording to the Samsung T7 SSD directly from the BlackMagic ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, I'm also recording directly to the Hyperdeck. And I've got two 256 high-speed SSDs in here, so I've got a total of 512 gigabytes. And these, what's nice because you can actually hot swap them and pull them in and out. These are awesome SSDs, fairly affordable for them being 256 at the speeds that they run at, 300 megabytes per second. They're hot swappable, so you can literally just put one of them in, turns green light on, now you're recording to this disc. If I pop this one out, put it back in, now I'm recording to that one. So this gives me a redundant recording. Now, of course, it's not gonna record these separate ISO videos like the Extreme does, but it does give me an additional recording that goes onto these SSDs, and then I have this networked to my NAS, so it automatically will then FTP those files to my NAS as an archive. So every time I do a recording, I've got a full recording right here on these SSDs and also back there on my NAS in my server room. So a little bit complicated in the setup, but as I thought through it, I thought those are some of the features that I wanted to have in this entire setup. All right, have I lost you guys yet? I mean, that was a lot we've gone through already. We've got a few more things we're gonna get to here, and you can always ask questions in the comment. I'd be happy to share with you some of my logic. Audio Engine 2 Plus. These are great little desktop speakers, put out a good amount of sound. I've had them for years. They're still being sold. Love these little speakers. They're wired one right to the left, and on the one over here, I've got a ton of options for inputs and outputs. I can go USB, I can go RCA. I've just got tons of options. So love these, and they're small in size, so they don't take up a lot of desk room on here either. And then I've got just this is the Apple keyboard that came with my iMac Pro. And then of course, the trackpad right here. I like the trackpad because rather than moving all over this wood butcher block and scratching it all up and making it very noisy when I'm on, say, a video or a live stream, the trackpad is nice because it allows me to move all around without making any noise, and it doesn't scratch up the whole surface of the desk here. All right, let's move on to a few other things here that are behind and around me. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is the Elgato. I'd mentioned it once, but the Elgato key light right here. This is new to me. It does a great job for key light, super slim. I've already got the Aperture 120D, which is a little bit larger over here, even though it's the Mini 2. The Elgato is a great light. I like being able to control it right here from my menu bar on my Mac Mini. And it just works great as a key light. Very slim, very minimalistic. Kudos to the Elgato for coming out with that. All right, let's just hop right over here to my second teleprompter setup. So this is my camera B, if you will, teleprompter B, again on a C stand with a lot of stuff on it. Obviously, lots going on here, but this is my old teleprompter setup, and I've got a Sony a6600 camera over here with a 10 to 18 millimeter lens on it. And then I've just got an additional flapjack light up here on top of it as well, which gives me some additional light on my face over here. And this is all wired up. Now this is some long runs here, so I'm actually running HDMI to Ethernet. So I'm running Cat 5e for my video feed because it was too long for HDMI, and you guys are gonna run into that if you start running over about 15 feet on your HDMI cables. And so this is also completely mobile. I can move it wherever I want to move it. I can move it completely out of the way if I don't want to use it at all. But I've also got some other stuff here on the front side that is running over here, which gives me additional, oops, that was our previous Facebook Live running right there. It just gives us some additional features over here. So I've got the teleprompter view, so whatever is on that teleprompter over here, this feed is also coming in over here on this teleprompter as well. So it doesn't matter if I'm here or if I'm over here on the Vibe, because I do a lot of training, I do a lot of educating. This allows me to still speak to my audience. I've got all of my Stream Deck here. I'm just using an old iPhone 7, I think that is. It still has the home screen. So I'm just running the Stream Deck app over here, which allows me to switch up. I've got my Vibe Me, which is a camera view of me, and I'm pulling in the feed from the Vibe board. So what I love about the Vibe board is it actually has an HDMI out. So I can pull this feed I can put it directly into one of the inputs in the ATEM Mini Extreme, and then I can use the super source and bring it in here. And so whatever I draw on the board, my viewers are seeing me and they're seeing what's showing up on the board here, rather than just doing a video, like a camera at the board, which is not quite as immersive. But I've got all my Stream Deck controls here. I've also got an iPad below it. This is an old iPad Air that I had. This allows me to monitor comments. So if I'm doing a Facebook Live, I can see the comments streaming here. So this is for comments. This is for controlling the Stream Deck. And I've got my feed right there. So I can actually then switch back to the main view and then walk back over here and continue to talk. And this combination works really well because I can go from teaching mode into communication, community mode, and then back over to the Vibe board here. The Vibe board, of course, is also, I put it on a mobile stand. So interesting fact, the Vibe board sells their stand for, I think it's about $600. This stand was about $140 on Amazon. And it's actually taller, and I'm 6'7", so that was kind of a big deal. It also rotates, a lot of other features. Not knocking the Vibe stand, because it definitely is incorporated with it, but I think this works really, really well. It's still mobile, I can move it anywhere I want to move it to, and it works really, really well. So I'll put a link to this stand down there. This is, oddly enough, this is like from a kitchen store, this Joseph drawer, and it just fits on here, and I just thought this was kind of cool. So I got a lot of extra cables and clamps and other things that I just stuck on here. This does not come with the TV, but it works really well there. I love that little drawer right there to stash some other things. So that's the Vibe board. So as you can see, a lot going on with a lot of different features, but as I've been doing this over the years, there's just been a lot of things that I've thought, you know, I wish I had that, and I wish I had that feature, and I wish I had that feature. So let's move under the desk here for a second, because I've got a few more things under the desk that I want to show you. And so underneath here, there, again, a lot going on with cables. I did put 3 of these baskets underneath here to help with some cable management. I've still got room for more gear if I want to put some more gear here in a mount underneath here, but all of the cables are nicely tucked up underneath here in these baskets. Of course, a lot happening in there, and don't ask me to tell you which cable is going to which device at this point, but I can figure it out. This here, by the way, is the cloud lifter for the Shure microphone. The SMB7B requires a cloud lifter. You can see it right there. So that's the cloud lifter. I just have that mounted up underneath here. And then coming up over here, we've got the Mac Mini M1 chip. This does great. This basically runs everything for me and does a great job keeping up with that. I'm actually running 3 monitors off of this, 3 native inputs coming out of there, and I'm using this StarTech display adapter right here. I'll put a link to this. This thing does some like crazy weird magic stuff because it's running off a USB 3.0, but it's giving me 2 extra monitors because natively the Mac Mini M1 only supports 2 monitors and I needed 3. So this allows me to do that. So I've got one coming off the HDMI out port, and then I've got 2 more monitors running at high resolution off of this USB cable. So love the Mac Mini, does a great job for all that. And then right over here, I've got the CalDigit USB-C hub. So this allows me to have a SD card slot. I've got a lot of other stuff plugged in the back. I've got a 10 gig Ethernet port if I ever want to update the switch back in here to a 10 gig port. But this just gives me a lot more expansion for additional devices to be connected. And then I've also got the Audio-Technica headphones. If I wanted to put some headphones on and really listen, or I'm doing more of a podcast style, then I'll throw these headphones on. Those are really great headphones as well. So that's, then we got the BlackMagic course over here, the Hyperdeck. This is just a file that I designed in SketchUp and then 3D printed this bracket because I think it's ridiculous that BlackMagic wants $109 for their rack mount tray for these Hyperdecks. And so I just designed this up quick, printed it out, boom, there it is, done, clean, I like it. Works well. All right, there we go. That's pretty much the entire setup. Obviously the back wall I have here, which is gonna be on a separate YouTube video, so be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see that build. This whole setup, one other point to make here is not only is it mobile, but this desk, while it is manual crank, it does go up and down. All of these C-stands go up and down. So all the teleprompters, everything is designed so that if I got someone in here that's 5'2" or 6'7" like myself, we can put it to the height. I would say don't go any higher than 6'7" because this is up at the 41.5 inches, which is the maximum that this thing will go to. And it's almost high enough, we'll say that. It's almost high. It just slightly feels a little bit low for me, but I'm not gonna complain because I've worked with a lot lower things before. So one other note here is all of the cable management here. These sleeves are really, really great. They're Velcro sleeves, makes it super easy to access the cables inside if we ever needed to access them. So you just open them up and the cables are right inside here, and there's obviously room for more. You can go white with them or you can go black with them. And those are great. Obviously link in the description for these as well. It just keeps things nice and tidy and less trip hazardy. Obviously you could still trip over these, but when there's like 15 cables here, kind of a nightmare when it comes to all the cables there. So there you go. There's the whole setup in a nutshell. Will it change? Will it morph over time a little bit? I don't know. I'm actually really feeling very, very happy with how everything is set up, the way that it is set up right now. So I think we're gonna run with this for a while. If you guys have any questions or if you have any suggestions of what I should have done differently, certainly let me know down in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed the semi-build video. I know I didn't show you all the cabling that I ran. Maybe I'll do a separate video on some of the thinking of the cabling because that was a big deal. In fact, here, you guys should enjoy this just to show you what this Viozon can do as well too. There's my wiring diagram. That makes sense, right? I mean, everybody can understand that. It makes sense to me now. It didn't when I first started, but that is me scribbling out, figuring out which way, what cable goes, and HDMI and SDI and HDMI over Ethernet. I'm exhausted, so that's it. So maybe I'll put that into a little bit cleaner version. If you guys want to see that diagram, that wiring diagram, how I wired up everything, let me know down in the comments. One last comment here. These little ATEM City, it's a weird name, ATEM City. I've been using these for years and they're a simple device and they're not a smart device by any means. I can't connect these to anything. Like I have a lot of my other lights in the studio. I can control all my overhead LEDs with Siri and HomeKit and a lot of different things I can control with my voice or through my phone. But I love these plug-in remotes because it just makes it so easy to program them and plug whatever light I in. So I use these a lot in my studio because it just makes it simple, straightforward. It's easy and non-confusing for other people to do it. And I can program them all into one button as well. So I can literally just push one button and have everything go off for the most part. There's some other lights that don't go off completely, like the Aperture 120D isn't dialed into that. And the Elgato light, I gotta come up here to my little menu bar and push that right there. But within a couple of clicks, I've got my lights done, shut down. Instead of going around and turning off every single one of them, it's nice to have the control with just this one remote here. So these are a lifesaver. There's a pack you can get with 5 plugs and 2 switches for less money than one smart switch. So to me, those are worth every penny. Even though they're kind of a cheaply made device, they work really well for what they are. So there you guys go. Appreciate you guys coming along for this build journey. I'm gonna start using this. You'll see more videos of me using it as well. Be sure to subscribe, like this video if you got some value out of it. Can't wait to hear what you guys think about it, what you think I should have done differently, suggestions, love to hear them. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye for now.